inside a box of letters, hoping someday you'd ask to see your half again. But the edges are curling now and your smile is fading fast. I tried to tape us back together, but some things weren't built to last. I'm holding a torn photograph. Your half is somewhere in the dark. I still remember how we laughed before we tore each other apart. The jagged edge fits perfectly like two halves of a broken heart. But perfect doesn't mean complete when love is torn at the seam from the start. Sometimes I lay my half on top of yours, just to pretend we're whole again. But the tear is always showing through, like a scar that never mends. I could trace the line with my finger, feel the place where you pulled away. And I know that nothing lingers, but I keep it anyway. I'm holding a torn photograph. Your half is somewhere in the dark. I still remember how we laughed before we tore each other apart. The jagged edge fits perfectly like two halves of a broken heart. But perfect doesn't mean complete when love is torn at the seam from the start. Do you still have your peace, or did you throw it in the trash? Do you ever think of me when you find a photograph that's torn in half? Torn photograph, torn in two, just like me, just like you. Torn photograph can't repair a love that once was there. We started like a perfect flame, too bright to ever fall. Two hearts pretending we were safe when we were breaking all along. You held me like I was enough. I held you like a dream, but even dreams can turn to dust when love forgets to breathe. We didn't see it coming slow, the way we came undone. We called it love, we called it home, until there was none. This is a love that learned to bleed, not from a cut, but from belief. We gave each other everything until there was nothing left to keep. Now every memory hurts to touch, like glass beneath the skin. A love that was so beautiful, but broke from deep within. Then that slowly slipped away. I trace your name into the dark, like it might bring you back, but all it does is open up the parts I tried to lack. Maybe we were never meant to hold forever in our hands. Some loves are written just to show how fragile hearts can stand. This is a love that learned to bleed. Every promise turned to scars. We built a universe of us that collapsed beneath the stars. And now I walk through what we were, like ruins I still need. 'Cause even broken, even gone, love can learn to bleed. This is a love that learned to bleed. And I can unfeel you in me. If I could rewrite every hurt, I'd still choose your touch. 'Cause even pain that leaves a mark can mean you love too much. This is a love that learned to bleed, and I'm the one that left behind, still searching for the version of us that time refused to find. And even if I heal someday, your ghost won't disagree. 'Cause what we had was beautiful, a love that learned to bleed. The hallway still glows yellow like you're just around the bend. I never had the heart to twist the bulb out of its end. It used to mean you'd wait for me, a beacon in the night. Now it's just a monument to a love I couldn't write. You left the light on, but you're not coming home. I'm standing in the doorway, frozen and alone. It burns against the silence, a promise that you're gone. You left the light on, and I'm still holding on. I sit and watch the shadow of a doorway you won't fill. I tell myself you're running late, I tell myself you will. But the bulb is getting older and it flickers like my mind. How can I turn it off when you're the only light I find? You left the light on, but you're not coming home. I'm standing in the doorway, frozen and alone. It burns against the silence, a promise that you're gone. You left the light on, and I'm still holding on. I used to think a light meant warmth, a safe place to arrive. Now I know a light can testify that love is not alive. I keep it on because to switch it off would be to finally see the darkness you left behind is all that's left for me. You left the light on, but you're not coming home. I'm standing in the doorway, frozen and alone. It burns against the silence. walls on empty floors. Your shadow still lives behind these doors. Cold piano cries beside my bed, playing all the words we never said. Rain keeps tapping on my skin, like memories trying to come back in. I hold your picture to my chest, but broken hearts don't ever rest. And every night I hear your name, like a whisper drowning in the rain. Velvet tears at midnight, falling softly in the dark. Your goodbye still burns slow like a candle in my heart. I keep dancing with your ghost in the silence of my room. Loving you was beautiful, but losing you destroyed the moon. Your sweater still hangs by the door, like you'll come home once more. But time keeps turning us to dust, and lonely nights are all I trust. I tried to hide the pain away, but midnight always makes me stay inside the ruins of our love, praying to the stars above. And every song becomes your voice, a heartbreak I can't silence anymore. Velvet tears at midnight, falling softly in the dark. Your goodbye still burns slow like a candle in my heart. I keep dancing with your ghost in the silence of my room. Loving you was beautiful, but losing you destroyed the moon. If heaven hears these shattered prayers, tell me, do you miss me there? 'Cause every tear I hide tonight still carries your blue eyes. Midnight knows my pain. Love won't heal again. Velvet tears at midnight, running down my soul again. Your memory's a lonely song, I'll never reach the end. And if love was meant forever, why am I alone tonight, holding on to fading echoes under shattered city lights? The piano slowly fades away, but my heart still stays at midnight. We stood on the edge of forever, our toes hanging over the line. I swore I could see it together, a future where your hand was mine. You gave me a glimpse of the heaven, then pulled down the blinds on the sky. Now I'm sitting at 6:45, just watching our timeline pass by. People cry for the love that they lost, for the bridges that burned into smoke. But I'm paying a heavier cost for the promises we never broke. We didn't shatter, we didn't fall, we just faded before we could start. And the heaviest sorrow of all is the pain of almost. I still have the map of the city where we whispered we'd run away to. It's tragic and somewhat a pity how deeply I thought it was true. The piano was playing a soft chord, a melody meant for a pair. But I'm singing a song of regret now to an empty and echoing chair. People cry for the love that they lost, for the bridges that burned into smoke. But I'm paying a heavier cost for the promises we never broke. We didn't shatter, we didn't fall, we just faded before we could start. And the heaviest sorrow of all is the pain of almost. If you had just hated me, if we had fought, if I had a reason to give up the thought. But you smiled and you lingered, you gave me a taste, then left me with a love that just goes to waste. It was right in my reach, God, you were right in my reach. People cry for the love that they lost, for the bridges that burned into smoke. But I'm paying a heavier cost for a heart that you didn't provoke. We didn't shatter, we didn't fall, we let go before we could start. Yeah, the heaviest sorrow of all is the pain of almost. You didn't need to speak at all, I saw it in the way you fall out of love, out of reach, like I was someone you can't keep. Your hands were cold but still held mine, like you were running out of time. And in that moment I could see you were already leaving me. No words, no fight, no final plea, just a quiet tragedy. It was the way your eyes said goodbye, like they were tired of trying to lie. Something slow breaking me down, even before you It remembers you and me. Every note falls apart, just like what you did to my heart. And I replay it every night, the way you lost your light. It was the way your eyes said goodbye, like they were tired of dropping to life. Soft and slow, bringing me down, even before you turned around. And I still see it when I close my eyes. That moment love started to die. You never said a single line, but your eyes, they said goodbye. If love could speak without a sound, it would hurt the way it does now. 'Cause silence said what words denied. The truth was in your eyes. It was the way your eyes said goodbye, and I was too late to ask you why. Now all I have is memory of how you stopped loving me, and I still feel it every time. The moment you left my life, you never said a single line, but your eyes said goodbye. In your eyes, I still don't know why. There's a picture on the wall where your smile used to call, but the glass feels colder now, like it doesn't know you somehow. I leave it hanging out of place, like I can't erase your face. Even when I try to clean, you're still between. And I tell myself it's just a frame, but it still knows your name. It's an empty frame you left behind, a frozen piece of better time, where we were laughing in the light before goodbye. Now it holds the shape of you, but it can't bring me the truth. Just a space that won't explain this empty frame. Dust collects on broken dreams, seeping through the in-between. Every crack inside the wood reminds me it's no longer good. I'll almost hear you in the room, like a ghost still wearing perfume. But when I turn around to see, there's nothing left of you and me. And I still reach out sometimes to a memory that won't reply. It's an empty frame you left behind, a silent scream I can't define. No colors left, no living light, just black and white. I should take it off the wall, but I'm scared of losing all, even the pain that still remains inside this empty maybe love was never meant to stay inside a picture bent. Maybe what we held so tight was only borrowed light. And if I let it fall to dust, would it hurt less or just make it real in every way that you're gone today? It's an empty frame, I still can't move because it's all a quiet place where memories stay but never stay. And oh, I should let go, but I can't replace what I know. So I keep the pain I can't explain inside this empty just space where you used to be. The wind has stopped, but I still shake like the thunder left awake. Your footsteps gone from my front door, but I still hear them on the floor. The rain has washed your traces out, but memories still scream out loud in every corner of this room. There's a shadow made of you, and now it's still too still to breathe, like the world forgot about me after everything we were. Just silence and a blur. This is the quiet after the storm, when nothing feels like it did before. No lightning left to light the pain, just empty skies and softer rain. I thought I'd feel relief somehow, but I just miss the chaos now, because it hurts more, that leads to mine. Your picture's tilted on the shelf like it's grieving by itself, and I don't fix it anymore. What's broken's already torn. The phone don't ring, the night don't cry. No more goodbye after goodbye. You're just a house that used to feel like something real. I used to pray for peace to come, to calm the war you left undone. But peace is heavier than pain when you're the one who stays. This is the quiet after the storm, where everything I knew is gone. No shouting left, no love, no fight, just hollow days and longer nights. I never knew silence could hurt these much, like losing me in your ghostly touch. It doesn't heal, it only forms. This quiet after this storm. If storms are how we fall apart, then silence breaks a different heart. It doesn't crash, it doesn't fade, it just slowly takes your place. And I stand here in the aftermath, tracing every piece we had, wondering if love survives when nothing's left alive. after you, and after me too. We built a fire that first December. You brought the wood and I brought the matches. We swore that we would always remember the way the flames danced around our catches. But winter after winter passed us by, and we forgot to feed the burning coal. Now I'm kneeling where the embers lie, trying to find a heartbeat in a hole. Cold ashes in an empty grate, the fire's gone, I'm left too late. I blow on them to see a spark, but nothing rises from the dark. Cold ashes, gray and dead, like every word we left unsaid. I scoop them up and let them fall. A love that once was, now nothing at all. I tried to start a new fire yesterday with kindling and a brand new lighter, but the chimney had forgotten how to pray, and the smoke just made me feel bitter and tighter. You took the warmth when you walked out, left me with the residue of heat. And now I'm just a woman with a doubt, running her fingers through defeat. Cold ashes in an empty grate, the fire's gone, I'm left too late. I blow on them to see a spark, but nothing rises from the dark. Cold ashes, I'm gray and dead, like every word we left unsaid. I scoop them up and let them fall. A love that once was, now nothing at all. I found a single coal that wasn't finished, glowing faintly in the morning light. I held it in my palm like something diminished, and I prayed to keep it through the night. But it cooled before the sun came up, turned to dust between my fingers, and I realized I was drinking from an empty cup, hoping the memory lingers. But even the memory is cold now, even the ghost has gone to sleep. And now I'm just a woman growing old, with ashes that I cannot keep. Cold ashes on my hands, cold ashes where love stands. No more burning, no more pain, just cold ashes. And the rain after you left, the silence hurt my chest. Your coffee cup still on the table, like you were coming back again. Sunlight touched the empty sheets, but your warmth was gone from me. I stared at the ceiling for hours, trying not to break completely. Every little thing reminds me of the life we used to know. Now the house feels like a memory, and I don't know where to go. The morning after you left, I learned what heartbreak meant. It sounded like a lonely piano, and tears I couldn't prevent. Every second felt so cold, like winter living in my soul. The morning after you left, I lost myself alone. Your jacket hanging by the door still makes me miss you more. And every room we used to fill now only echoes how I feel. I tried to call your phone last night, but stopped before the final line, because hearing nothing from you would break what little hope I hide. And all the words we never said keep spinning through my mind, like a song that keeps repeating long after goodbye. The morning after you left, I learned what heartbreak meant. It sounded like a lonely piano, and tears I couldn't prevent. Every second felt so cold, like winter living in my soul. The morning after you left, I lost myself. Maybe love was just temporary, maybe forever was a lie. But if you ever truly loved me, why did you leave me here tonight? I still sleep on your side sometimes, just to feel you close again. Even though I know your footsteps won't come back through that door again. The morning after you left, the stars forgot to shine, and every dream we built together collapsed inside my mind. Now I hold these broken pieces of a heart you used to own. The morning after you left became my darkest home. The morning after you left, I still wait for you in the silence. Walk through the house like a stranger now. Every corner holds your trace. Your coat still hangs by the doorway in its same familiar place. I opened the closet this morning, half your side is bare, just empty hangers swinging like they're waving at the air. Empty rooms, empty halls, empty echoes of the walls. I keep calling out your name, but nothing answers when I call. Empty rooms, empty chairs, empty Fear was trying to change my mind. You stood there shaking in the light. Between the end and morning sky, the piano played a fading chord, like it already knew the score. And every breath you tried to take was everything we couldn't save. But I still hear you soft and low before you let me go. Whispered goodbye at dawn, still echoes in my chest. The softest words you ever said still hurt me the best. Now every sunrise feels like loss. I can't escape, I can't move on, 'cause I still live inside that moment. Whispered goodbye at dawn. Your hand slipped slowly out of mine, like time refusing to rewind. No angry words, no final fight, just silence swallowing the night. The city woke, but I stayed still, lost somewhere I always will. And even birds that started to sing couldn't heal a broken thing. The morning light turned cold and pale, like love that slowly learned to fail. Whispered goodbye at dawn, still echoes in my chest. The softest words you ever said still hurt me the best. Now every sunrise feels like loss. I can't escape, I can't move on, 'cause I still live inside that moment. Whispered goodbye at dawn. If I had known it was the end, I'd hold your hand and not pretend. But some goodbyes don't need to shout, they quietly just fade out. Oh, I still hear you breathing. Oh, while my heart is leaving. Whispered goodbye at dawn, still tearing me apart. Every morning brings you back, like a shadow in my heart. And even when the